Hello and welcome to week one of the Summer Sketchbook Series that we're looking at. Today we are going to be looking at watercolour gradient drawing, very technical. The first part, watercolours, refers to the material that we're going to be using this week, so we're using watercolours. Second part, gradient, refers to a shift or a change from one colour to another, either through blending or becoming more lighter as it goes across. And drawing is the really technical part where we draw. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, for the first part of this, what I'm doing is I'm mixing up some freehand gradient. I'm getting a brush and I'm taking a dark red color and I'm moving it from red through to orange, through to like a really light version of orange, okay? There's roughly about the same amount of space between them and they're roughly about the same amount of size, but other than that, I'm just working, as I said, freehand. Okay, I'm going to follow this up with a blue version as well to see how it goes, and I'm going to use these later once they're dry to do some drawing over the top. Now these were the drawings that I was able to produce with the freehand pieces themselves. So three very different stylistic pieces. I've got a animal illustration, I've got some flowers kind of growing out of a geometric shape, and I've got a really loose freehand drawing, just to show the versatility of this and how flexible it can be to use with whatever subject matter that you want. Now, the other way in which you can do this is not freehand, but is a more structured approach by which you take some masking tape and use it to define some edges of your gradient box that you're working on. So tearing a sheet of masking tape down the middle allows you to have two straight edges on the outer sides, putting them down, and then here I measure spaces between and put some masking tape at 2 centimeter increments moving down. Now again, I go with a blue color and an orange color as I move through this, but I have much less space on the page to show that gradient shifting, which is why you don't see the red adding into the orange here, and the blue is a lot more kind of muted very quickly as I water it down. Now, the benefits of doing it this way is that it allows you to have a much cleaner piece of work. And by that, what I mean is the edges are really crisp, they're really nicely defined, and this might be something that you find preferable in your own work. For me, I don't mind, and I think looking back upon these two pieces that I put together, even though I might prefer the drawing of the more structured gradient piece that I did, I definitely prefer the approach and the technique of the freehand version. So I know in myself, if I'm to do this again, it will most likely be with the freehand version of. And that's our first week and our first technique done. So looking at watercolor gradient drawing. Now for these I used pen, but you're more than free if you want to use different materials, if you want to paint over the top of them, if you want to draw back into them, if you want to use it in some kind of different technique. I have looked at something similar to this in the past before, but with photography, and you could look at something similar to that as well if you want to have a slightly different version of this based upon maybe an image or something that you've seen, which you maybe want to draw back over the top of it. But hopefully this first week has been enough to kind of ignite that creative spark in you, to get you inside your sketchbook and to get you working. And I hope these work out really well for you, and I will see you next week.
Yeah.